Okay, this is going to be the final part of this whole saga, okay? Just to kind of pull it all together, all right? I'm trying to do this in less than 10 minutes, so buckle up. Okay, so before I went to California, my friend was asking me to move in with them to help uh, catch them up and be able to stay in the apartment, the original apartment that they were in. Okay, did not do that because I had a funny feeling something just was not right. Okay, fast forward, I moved to California. They're still messaging me, hey, if you ever decide to come back, let me know. We can room together. Blah blah blah. Okay, so I finally get back, and at first I'm just working and living in my truck because that's all I got right now when I first came back. And then I ended up staying at an extended stay. Okay. During the time that I'm staying in between my truck and extended stay, um, I get another message that, they want to move in. Let's find a place together, blah, 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 split the bills, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So eventually I get on board, um, and I meet the other person because the lease was not going to be, I was not going to be on the lease or whatever. Okay, I was just going to be helping out, splitting the rent, basically the rent and utilities. Supposed to split it three ways, okay, between us three. Now, when I initially met the friend of my friend, when she got in my vehicle, she did not speak. Red flag number one. Okay. I was raised, when you walk into a room, when you walk into a house, when you get in somebody's car, you speak. Even if you don't know them, you speak. Especially if you don't know them, you speak. She didn't speak. Didn't really say nothing. Actually, as a matter of fact, she didn't speak to me at all that whole time. The whole 45-minute drive there or the whole 45-minute drive back. She never spoke a word to me. Okay. Like I said, red flag number one. So a couple days go by and I'm really thinking about it. I'm praying about it. I'm it's going through my head. It's going through my head and I'm like, I don't know. So initially, once I told them, after I told them that, I would give my next check because it would be a full check or whatever. Um and we could just go from there because I had already paid the deposit at this point. Well, my part of the deposit. And then my next check was going to be the 750, which was the first month's rent, because they did not have it because the one girl she had just got out of surgery, emergency surgery or something, so she had been off work. And then my friend was in between jobs, or she had just started a job or something like that. He had just started a job. I'm trying to work on these pronouns, okay? Forgive me. Anyway, my friend, we're gonna call F, okay? Her friend or his friend, we're gonna call S, okay? So once I get this initial feeling about S, I tell F, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel right. Something feels like it's off. Okay. So I pull out and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna go, stay at Stay Lodge. It's fine. It's an extended stay. I have a kitchen. I have a bathroom. I have my own space. I have a bed. I have TV. I have Wi-Fi. I have lights. Like I'm cool where I'm at. Okay. Well, eventually, I think like that next week, um, yeah, I think it was that next week. Uh, I eventually was like, okay, fine, let's just do it. We'll make the best of it. I'll put in my mind that I'm only gonna be here like 3 to 6 months because I'm gonna save during this time. Okay, thought I was gonna be able to save during this time, and I would have if I would have put my foot down. But I was trying to be nice, trying to be helpful because I understood their situations. However, once I started feeling like I was getting taken advantage of, then we had an issue, and I'll get more into that because I'll get more into that. So the second time, me and this other girl are like basically face to face. I pull up at the place that they're staying at, and I get out and I'm like, "Hey girl, hey," and she just looks at me and goes back to playing on her phone. Red flag number 2. Okay, cool. So I guess S and F are basically like having conversations, and then me and F are having conversations, and then F is bringing that conversation back to, like she basically, F is the middleman bringing us information because S doesn't want to have a conversation with all three of us, basically, just to sum it up. So eventually I get to talking about, well, I'm paying all this money, S ain't paying nothing, and you barely paid anything, so how is this room situation going to be? Like, because at first S was talking about that she wanted a room and F wanted a room. Well, I wanted a room because, again, I'm paying more, so I felt like I should get a room. And I also work overnight. They work during the daytime, so I would be sleeping during the daytime. And when they're at home during the daytime, they're going to be, in the kitchen or in the living room or whatever. I'm not going to be disturbed in my sleep. I'm just not. So I fought hard for that. I fought hard for my room. And then I eventually came to the conclusion, well, me and F can just split the room, because one of the rooms was huge. Like, you could literally put 2 people in that room and put a divider in between it, and y'all have your own separate space. Like, it was a simple fix like that for all of us to be able to have a room, okay? Well, eventually S went into the living room, F went into the smaller room, I got the bigger room. I don't know why. I didn't ask for the bigger room. I just said I wanted a room, or I was backing out. That was just point blank period, because if I was paying $1,100 plus almost $1,200, then yes, I felt like that I deserved a room. I mean, yeah, my name ain't on nothing, but I paid the most money, so I should get a room. But anywho, moving on. So eventually we get in the place. Then me and you can, I don't do this is the main reason I don't do roommates, okay? This is the main reason. This is the main reason, because we're raised differently, okay? Now, you're raised that when you're finished cooking, you just put the pots in the refrigerator, okay? That's how you're raised. I was raised the right way. When you're done cooking, you let the food cool down, you put it in containers, you put the containers in the refrigerator, you wash the big pots and skillets and pans. Why was that such a hard concept to grasp? Then we asked you not to smoke your cigarettes in the apartment because it chokes F up, but yet you're still smoking in the apartment. And then I asked for y'all not to use so many chemicals, and what happens to me? I literally am choking, waking up out of my sleep after like only getting like an hour or two, and then I had to go to work. I'm like, my throat still ain't recovered. Okay? My throat still hurts to this day, because since that day, when I got woke up out of my sleep breathing in chemicals, like, and then, like I said, me and S eventually get into it because I'm fed up at this point. Like, I'm really fed up, because the only thing that you have been concerned about since before we even moved in this place was somewhere where you could have adult fun. But guess what? It seems like you've been having plenty of it because you haven't been there. So whatever plan you had originally, like, be respectful. We're not having partners over, so why do you think that you get the right to have partners over too? Like, make it make sense. And then talking about something, well, he just needs to leave when I decide that I'm gonna get some. Anywho, then F, it kept occurring to me like the only thing that they were concerned about was gardening. If you catch my drift, okay? Catch my drift? Gardening, okay? Gardening. Got me? Okay. And less focused on bills and making sure that there was food in the house and, you know, that would actually last instead of just eating everything up in 1 or 2 days. And that was another thing that pissed me off because I spent so much money on food and yet I barely got anything. Barely got any of my food. Because you want to eat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day and sleep. Because you're at the job that you were working, you were only getting 2 or 3 hours a shift. That was a waste of my gas. And then I eventually get you on at my part-time job and trying to get you on at my full-time job because there was a position coming open. And now you're blaming me that you should have stayed at your original job because I got sick one day, called out, and then 5 of my family members died in a house fire the next day and I didn't go to work. So I was put on suspension. I mean, if you were saving your money, you could actually be going to put a down payment on a vehicle. That way you could get your own self back and forth to work. You could work your own hours. You wouldn't have to work the same hours as me and same days as me. We wouldn't be getting into it every day. But yet, when you walk in the building the first day, you want to get an attitude. You want to have an attitude with everybody. And then I get pulled in the office. I don't know what's going on with Fully, but I need you to make sure that, you know, the attitude is adjusted because otherwise they ain't gonna last. Okay, heard. I got you. Had a conversation. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry about that. I got you. My energy is off because of blah blah blah. Okay, cool. I understand that. I get that. But these folks ain't done nothing to you. Nothing. And you want to sit here and have an attitude for what? You don't know these people from a can of paint. And you want to sit here and have an attitude for what? And then, on top of all of that, like I said, like my video said, we agreed upon we're going to split the rent, which was $750. We're going to split it 3 ways. Okay? That comes out to be $250. When the utility bill comes out, we were going to split it 3 ways. However much that would be. Okay? The utility bill is no more than $200 from where we're living at. And they're not going to get over on me because I've lived in Decatur before and I know how they run. Okay? I know around what time they go up. The prices increase, and I know what time, you know, prices decrease. So they're not going to get over on me because I'm going to look every single time. And then not only that, did you forget that you sent me a screenshot of the bill, dummy, that the utility company sent you in an email? Like, I don't understand what you don't understand. Like, and then I'm trying to understand how y'all came up with $500. Like, that makes no sense to me. I don't eat with y'all. I don't use the same cleaning products as y'all, and I sure don't use as much as y'all do. Also, I wash my own laundry. I pay for my own Wi-Fi, my own phone bill, my own car insurance payment. I get my own hygiene products, hair products. I buy my own toilet paper, paper towels, flushable wipes. So, like, explain to me how in the world you don't understand where I'm coming from after I done spent all this money. And like I told them, I have 30 days. So if any of my stuff is touched or moved or put out or anything like that, you best believe I'm going to take this thing further and we going to court, baby. I got all the proof. I think that's another thing you forgot. I have all the proof. I have all the bank transactions that came out of my account. They're attached to my name, my card, my bank account. That's the funny thing about digital footprints. You better get on board. Get on board. And even when we paid it online, when I paid my part of the rent online, I paid it from my debit card. I paid it on your phone. Paid it from my debit card. And on the receipt, it says my name. So we can try it. You want to try it? We can go there. We can definitely go there. We can most definitely go there. But yeah, that basically sums up this whole saga. And then when me and S had got into it, she threatened me. She said she would slap me. She would slap the F out of me. And I told her to do it. I want to see this. I want to feel it. Please. Because I'm going 2 buildings over. And when I go 2 buildings over and my cousin comes up them stairs, you best believe that you in for it. Okay? Now, my mama has always told me, never put your hands on a female. But if a female puts their hands on you and puts themselves in a man's position, you got every right to defend yourself. Now, had she put her hands on me, I probably would have defended myself. But see, I was raised better than that. My grandma taught me better than that. So, all I'm going to say is, they better be glad I know Jesus and that he know me and that he has changed my life. Because if you would have done this to me about 5 years ago, I would be sitting in jail right now. You would be in the hospital or the morgue. That's just the honest to God truth. I don't play by my money. I don't play by my money. Or my livelihood, or where I'm going to lay my head at. And that's just how I feel about it. But anyway, have a good one.